Welcome everyone, AdamTheWoo here. What are you doing here?
I don't know.
You just happen to be here.
Yeah.
It's my second channel, daily vlog channel. It's TheDailyWoo. I'm giving a tour today, and you are very excited because you have actually never been to this particular part of Southern California. What particular part of Southern California am I talking about? I'm talking about Bushnell Avenue in SO. Pasadena, which stands for South Pasadena. This is actually one of my favorite roads anywhere in the world. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
This is a fantastic spot because there are a lot of 80s movies filmed right here. This is a very fantastic area that I've actually visited a number of times, but I've never actually vlogged from this particular road before in the form of an unedited vlog for my second channel, my daily vlog channel. So we're going to do a little tour, and we haven't even walked down here yet, so you're going to experience this as we actually leave the vehicle and cross this stop. But if you look at it upside down, it says, what is that, a backwards D? A backwards D, an O, an upside down T, and a weird squiggly S. Dots, bots, Batu? I don't know. All right, here it is, Bushnell Avenue in South Pasadena. And the first thing you notice are these majestic trees, kind of like encompassing the entire ground area. Pretty awesome. One thing I was mentioning to you about South Pasadena is the fact that it kind of looks unlike Southern California in a lot of ways, which is the reason a lot of movie production companies and filming locations, scouts, actually use South Pasadena, and Bushnell Avenue is no exception. There have actually been a lot of movies filmed right here, a lot of television shows, a lot of commercials, major feature films, all filmed along this road. Now I will ask you, do you know, off the top of your head, do you know of any of the movies that were actually filmed right here? Or is this going to be a total surprise? A total surprise for you. So you will actually be thrilled to know that this road was actually used in one of my favorite movies, as well as one of my favorite sequels, Back to the Future Part 1 and Back to the Future Part 2. So that is very exciting. There are a number of homes and houses on this road that were used in those films, as well as the movie Teen Wolf, as well as the movie Ghost Dad, among others, and the movie Old School with Will Ferrell as well was filmed right here on this exact road that stretches only maybe a quarter of a mile. You can see where that car just turned down there and another car is heading towards us. That is the start of the road, and that is the end of the road down there. So just within these 30 houses maybe on each side, 20 to 30 houses on each side, is a lot of movie history all along here and all along here. So as we are walking from that main thoroughfare, I will kind of pinpoint out and show off some of the homes that were actually used in a lot of movies. The first one we are actually going to come up to is from Back to the Future Part 2, right here, which was actually Biff's grandmother's house in Back to the Future Part 2. Now you can actually find on the AdamTheWoo channel videos I did with Justin Scard from Live Fast, Die Poor and the Sometimes vlog. We actually have done the filming locations of Back to the Future 1 and 2 in the form of an edited video where we actually show in clips of the movie. But this is an unedited vlog, kind of to give you the ambiance of what it actually looks like in real time, real perspective, as far as how close one house is to another house, to another house, to another house, to another house, and so forth and so on. But right here is Biff's grandma's house. Of course, they decorated it a lot different. They had a fence up there. Biff came walking out and said, "I'm going to get my car, Grandma." And then around back was actually in the movie where you would assume is where the garage was. But in the movie, the garage was not straight ahead. See how the garage is right there? It was actually catty corner behind the house in the movie. So they had a little bit of trickery going on, Hollywood trickery. That is the bush that Biff's car runs into when old Biff is actually driving new Biff, or young Biff, through here as well. Right in here, of course, is another shot where Doc Brown is riding his bike right towards us and goes into there as well. But that is Biff's grandma's house. I don't know what word that was. Grandmother's home right there. Very cool. So we're going to progress down, keep walking down Bushnell Avenue. And the second home, remember I was mentioning Old School with Will Ferrell?
Yeah.
Well, this is the house where they had the party in Old School right here. And in the backyard is where the party scene was. And then when Will Ferrell decides to go streaking, he actually runs out of this doorway, runs here and screams, "We're going streaking, we're going streaking." And he runs off directly towards that way. So he runs off completely nude and runs that way. Luckily, he was running away from us, so we saw the back side of him and not the front side, running out of here completely naked. And this also was used in Back to the Future 2 when Biff is walking along. The children are playing along here. One of them has like a bouncy ball. Biff picks up the ball, throws it up on top of that exact balcony, which is really awesome. And of course, right next to the Old School house is the house not only from Teen Wolf, which was Scott Howard's, Michael J. Fox's character in Teen Wolf, but it was also Lorraine Baines McFly's house in Back to the Future Part 1. Right there is Lorraine's house. And that was the window right up there where she was actually dressing. And when George McFly was actually up here on this right here, George McFly was actually up on top of there. Remember when George was up there?
Yeah.
And Michael J. Fox said, "He's a peeping Tom." Well, actually, Michael J. Fox was standing right there. Originally, he ran right along here. He saw George. His dad was actually up on that limb right there. And the camera angle was kind of, sort of like this. So basically, he was up on the limb. He had the binoculars. He was looking in that window. And a lot of people do not realize that Teen Wolf and Back to the Future were both filmed along this same stretch of awesome historical movie Hollywood filming location road, Bushnell Avenue, basically in the same year. The way the story goes is Michael J. Fox was working on Teen Wolf. They were filming shots from Back to the Future Part 1. Michael J. Fox was not actually the original Marty McFly. In Back to the Future Part 1, it was actually Eric Stoltz. Eric Stoltz, they actually did not like the way he was playing Marty McFly, so they actually changed it and hired Michael J. Fox because Michael J. Fox was actually filming Teen Wolf at the same time that Eric Stoltz was actually filming Back to the Future Part 1 on this same road. So it's kind of interesting how all that worked out as well. So this is it, Bushnell Avenue. That is the tree right up there that Crispin Glover climbed up, dangling across, fell down here into the road. This is where the car hit him right here. Went inside, had dinner with the family right in there. His mother, a younger version of his mother. Of course, the family did not realize that they were looking at their grandson, which is very interesting. And a lot of people do not realize this was also used as Michael J. Fox's house in Teen Wolf. Now, one day I will actually do the filming locations, a legit main channel video of the filming locations of Teen Wolf. At some future point, there will be a lot more detailed stuff as well. But I've been wanting to do this vlog for a long time, talking about the locations of Bushnell Avenue. And I'd also like you guys to leave some comments down below if you know any other movies that I am not going to mention in this vlog that were actually filmed out here. Do you know any other movies on Bushnell Avenue that I might not know that you could chime in about?
I don't.
Okay. The next location is actually right here on the left-hand side where this gentleman is walking out of his house. This was actually George McFly's house right here. This was actually George McFly's house in Back to the Future Part 1. When Michael J. Fox runs across the road, sees George, tells him in the yard there that he needs to ask Lorraine out, runs up into the house, slams the door behind him. That is it. Also, that is actually the house that in the backyard, when they're hanging the laundry, is actually in the backyard of that home as well. So very cool. And one thing I really like about this road are these trees. Does anyone know what types of trees these are? Do you know what types of trees these are?
No.
Do you consider yourself a, what do you call yourself? Someone has a green thumb, a horticulturist? Someone who is a fan of trees.
I'm a fan of trees. I don't have a green thumb.
You don't have a green thumb.
And
but
I
you're
don't
a fan.
know what trees these are.
Okay, so anybody know what type of trees these are that are actually looking very beautiful down Bushnell Avenue? Definitely leave some comments down below. Now, another house that is actually right up here was the Bill Cosby classic 80s film Ghost Dad, and the Ghost Dad house is actually right up here. Now, I cannot remember off the top of my head which one it exactly is, so that's where you guys are actually going to come into play. Actually do some research, leave some comments down below on which one of these two homes is the Ghost Dad house. I think I'm actually going to place my bets that it's actually this one right here. The one next to the white house with like the old school looking porch. The one that black crow just perched on. Right there, look at that black crow. I'm almost certain that this is the Ghost Dad house. Correct me if I am wrong, but I think this, with the black crow, right up there is the Ghost Dad house. Crow, is this the Ghost Dad house? Yes! Well, the crows do not lie and crows do not crow unless they really, really are telling the truth. So I'm assuming that this is the Ghost Dad house, because I think there's a scene when Bill Cosby kind of flies out the window up into the heavens as the ghost. You can actually see this house off to the right. So this house and this house were both used in the film Ghost Dad, the 80s classic, with Bill Cosby. And we're reaching the end of Bushnell Avenue right down here. So it's really not that far of a road. Like probably, what would you say, maybe 200 yards? Perhaps 300 yards, 3 football fields. And in this 3 football field distance, there is a heck of a lot of Hollywood history, a lot of 80s movies. Do some research of your own. Leave some comments. Let's have a discussion about how many movies other than the ones I mentioned were actually filmed right along this stretch of fantastic road, Bushnell Avenue in South Pasadena. I love this road. It's one of my favorite places. I love just coming out here. I've been here probably 10 times. Done the filming locations for Back to the Future 1 and Part 2. Justin Scard and I are still working on Part 3. Not sure when we're going to get around to doing those, but they will happen. A lot of people have been asking about that. As well as I will be working on the filming locations of Teen Wolf that are filmed all around Southern California. Some stuff here in South Pasadena, as well as some stuff here on Bushnell Avenue. So we're going to leave you now. You should actually get over here. Let's get a cool picture with all these trees here, Bushnell Avenue. Maybe slide over that way a little bit. Yeah, like right about that. Let's just do like a look. Hey, we're on Bushnell Avenue. All right. That's about it. A little more excitement. Awesome. That is an exciting face. All right. Bushnell Avenue. Check down below for my t-shirts at AdamTheWoo.spreadshirt.com. Please subscribe. It's absolutely free. I go to different places every day on this channel, the Daily Woo, as well as the Adam the Woo channel. Please subscribe to both. It's absolutely free. You should tell them. It's free to subscribe.
Yes.
So why not subscribe?
Why not?
She's asked them to subscribe.
Please subscribe to his channel. It's free.
Yeah, see, exactly. How can you say no to that face? Please, come on. Let's see some thumbs up and some subscriptions, simply because she asked. She asked for it. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. But for now, goodbye from Bushnell Avenue. I love you, Bushnell Avenue. I love you. I love you too. Sir, ma'am, children, I love you just as much as I love Bushnell and Avenues and Ghost Dad and Teen Wolf and Back to the Future 1 and 2 and Old School. Goodbye.